after politics, the next area where there is the most amount of controversy is the film industry or Bollywood. Let me start by saying that I don't believe in censorship. I don't think censorship is a good thing. So I don't judge people for not speaking up. I don't judge people for the choices they make. If the audience is interested in you, they don't have to believe you. They have to be interested in you. From June was the release of Rasbhari. Then there was Flesh in August, Beanie in Bhag Bhaag in December, and now Aapke Kamrey Mein Koi Rehta in January. So I'm like, I'm loving this. I'm like, wow, this is too cool. For a pandemic year, this is like insane. When I read a script, I never think of what genre it is first. I read the script for what it is. So when I read the script, I really liked it. It was very edgy, it's very funny. And actually for me, the horror in the show is how can four boys be so dumb? Okay, I'm like, wow, that's the horror. That's the real horror. Like, how dumb are these guys? And I think that Gaurav Sinha, who's the writer director of the series, has done a very good job with uh balancing the the horror is actually funny for me. Like it's ridiculous. And for me, the genre is actually I always, of course there's a horror element, but it's actually a comedy of four friends, a comedy of errors almost, if you will. And so I was not troubled at all because I read the script and I really liked it. I think the only thing that we were worried about was, and I think that's, anytime you have a story that requires a certain suspension of disbelief, and something that's veering into the horror space or the ridiculous space or something that is the unbelievable space, you always feel very worried. My only worry was like, dude, it shouldn't come off as tacky and as cheesy, right? Because that's what we have to worry about. And I feel like if your if your performance, and if the way, just the way the show has come out, if the audience is interested in you, they don't have to believe you. They have to be interested in you. Are they interested in what you're doing and what you will do next? If you've got that, then you're okay. Then you can sail. So that was a great challenge. That was what I was worried about. That will can we, as actors, can my performance engage you enough for you to be interested in what I'm doing, even if you don't believe it? Yeah, I never saw them as those two roles as necessarily in opposition with each other or something. That why can't it be, I mean, having an opinion is the most natural thing. Like, we're born into the human race with a brain and a mouth. So I think that having an opinion is just, it's what makes us human beings. Like my pet Godo, who's sleeping here, he cannot have an opinion because, or even if he does, he can't express it properly. He can't get into a discussion, but I can, right? So I don't understand why being an actor and having an opinion are two oppositional things. Why can't they go together? I mean, I'm an artist. I'm a citizen of this country. I pay taxes here. What happens in the country affects my work directly. Now, to a point where, for example, like, what, like literally, like controversies. I think the most amount of after politics, the next area where there is the most amount of controversy is the film industry or Bollywood. So I think that that actually I should have an opinion. As an actor, I should have an opinion, right? So I never saw it as oppositional. One thing I will say, however, is that I don't believe in bullying other people into having an opinion just because I have one. I really believe in the policy of live and let live. I think that, yes, I have an opinion. That doesn't mean that you must have the same opinion or that you must also have an opinion. So I don't judge people for not speaking up. I don't judge people for the choices they make. I don't judge people for choosing to stay silent. I may not agree with you, but okay, maybe you have some this thing. But I will say I judge people for breaking the law. So if you are going to, like, I mean, yeah, you can have whatever opinion you have, but you don't justify murder, right? Don't spread hate, don't justify murder, don't normalize hate. I mean, all that is not okay. So I have no problem working with anybody who does not agree with me. But I mean, if you have in the past, if you have like behaved in a manner where you've used your platform in a way that will harm somebody else, especially some other community, then I'm not okay with that. I mean, I will have to say that. And sometimes you just like, sometimes, I mean, it's never happened before, but I, you know, it's okay if you don't want to work with someone because you don't want to bring that toxicity in your life. Let me start by saying that I don't believe in censorship. I don't think censorship is a good thing. I think that censorship is something that, the legacy of censorship in India is actually really problematic, because those laws were made by the British Indian colonial government to repress the voice of India during the freedom struggle. They didn't want the fact that people were demanding freedom to get out there. That's where, that is literally the origin of censorship laws. It is to silence our cry for freedom. So it's, firstly, I don't understand why the hell that those laws still exist. Why, after we are independent, why do we have this burden of our colonial past anymore? That's one. I think that I believe in certification. So I think that, yes, of course, there is content that children should not watch. There is content that is only for adults, all that. But I don't believe in censorship. I think it's terrible that it's happening in our country. I think that, of course, it's totally politicized, and I think that this is really, it's a very bad sign. It's a very bad sign for a democracy that, we are basically in a state where you can't say anything because you don't know who will get hurt. I mean, look at the last 6 months, the kind of controversies that have happened around. Every other week, there is a new hashtag ban this, ban that. So how is this? I don't understand. This is so terrible for us as a modern society. I mean, can we even claim to be a progressive modern? Like, are we living in 2021, or are we living in like the 1800s? Like, what is happening? And we are so petty. We've just become so petty as a society. I think that's what is really sad. For me, when I heard that they are in the film, I was like, I don't care what it is, I'm in it. I don't care if I have one line, I will come and say it. Like, just to be, like, to share screen space with Shavana Azmi after 10 years of being in Bollywood. I mean, I was like, Mera to ho gaya. Mere liye to kalyan ho gaya. I'm done. So I was, it was lovely. And Faraz is someone, of course, who in the process of filming has now become a friend, and he's someone I'm very fond of. But I also really, I find his, thoughts, and I just find him very impressive as a person, and just in terms of what he's doing. And he's taught me a lot also, just in the process of being part of his film and also talking to him. So it's a lovely film. It has some great performances. I mean, I think Shavana ji and Divya ma'am are both in such fine form. It's a lovely universal story, and now we're just waiting to see when it comes out. We missed our international premiere because of the pandemic. It was to premiere at the BFI, Flair Film Festival in London, that we missed. It had another premiere in Boston that also we couldn't get to. So now we're just looking at whatever is the best way to showcase this film and bring it out, to have a nice opening announcement for it, and like a nice release for it.